and I was like walking right by the what is it, the Cabin Creek Brewery there where the path is. And this guy's got a service dog. He's and you know, I'm walking on the other side of the trail because I don't want to interfere with his training. You know?
Yeah.
And the dog's just fighting to see me, just wants to see me. You know, and I'm over there and I'm like really not calling for it or anything like that. And so I said, you know, is it okay? And he's like, sure, no, it's fine. And I bend down and the dog comes up to me, gets real close and just goes like this.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, he never does that. I'm just like, yeah, I know. My wife's this is my level.
That's why he wears the snoot guard when he goes to the park, but you know, he's gained so much weight.
Oh, yeah.
He's chubby.
Oh my God, how funny. Yeah.
So I couldn't get into my Trails computer
Okay.
because I guess I'm locked out because I'm not employed.
Oh.
So I had some stuff, but not like my GPS map of it and
Okay.
what we have
So you guys
proposed.
thought it was good. I loved it.
By the way, we are recording.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I can't find it.
That's so much crap.
I drove by and it looks nice.
It hasn't changed.
It looked like something was lit. It looked like something was lit in each little thing. Am I just seeing stuff? On the wall?
The green wall?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we, that's as far as we got some battens put up on that, and then we
Oh,
got.
I'm seeing things. I thought it was lit.
It's hard to ride. As soon as it warms up. It's back
I
on.
swear it was lit up
Yeah.
in my head.
It's great. Did you know about that one?
I saw it. I hadn't had a chance to go through it yet.
Wow, someone really did a good job of this together. Did you do this?
Nope.
Who put this together? So
Probably Susan or Mary or.
Oh, you know what? You can see my water bill. I'm thinking, how in the world did I do?
oh, and another thing, I need glasses.
A $400.
Nice.
Supposedly you go to Friday.
Auto bill pay.
So when they put the new buttons in, we kind of fixed it, so I can get by without glasses. Because the problem I have in my garage, so I've got.
It's really thorough. I'm gonna have to use my other punch, but both of us and save it in my notebook.
Right?
So am I wrong in recollecting, but wasn't there some opposition to the DHM final phase or something?
So you know, it got asked, I mean,
No, right, no, but I just wondered if there was like, now that we're doing it ourselves, you know, they objected to maybe the direction or something, or maybe I'm making it up, I don't know.
well, there was opposition all the way through the camp. It, thought that the whole DHM plan was too Denverish, I guess.
Got it, right?
It's even like a.
Yeah, no, okay, I just wondered, I'm used to that, I know that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So Susan, do we have a quorum? Not yet. Okay.
Good enough, how are you?
Good.
Hey, Missy.
I'm here because I saw the Foster's place on the bottom of the agenda. I'm doing well.
You're always matching.
Huh?
Your stuff always matches.
I'm so lucky. I just buy random stuff now.
Give us like one year.
There's only 5 colors.
Our first picture, you came, we got pink all over your back.
I did, Jack, but you're right. Bob had just painted his wall, like, oh, you neighbors, and I come in the house and back up against his wall.
Oh, no.
Now you know it's yours.
New color.
Yeah.
Had a new outfit.
Oh my God. So 4 is not a quorum.
Oh, that's fine. All right, you're good.
Sorry.
Rob, do you want to lead us?
Oh, sure.
Steve's not gonna be here and Tom is not here.
Parks and Rec, Commission, well, what time is it? Well, we've got time. It's not.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Too early.
So
I got
one thing is we have to be within a 15-mile radius of the dealership.
We are.
We are.
I Googled it. So we should talk to Kevin too about Kubota, the tractor maker, has a grant out right now for equipment.
Oh, Kubota does?
Yeah, and to win prizes. And we were talking about it for either Trails Team to get a Mini X to help with trails, or for Georgetown. Like, I don't know if they may, you already bought the bush hog, right?
I'm gonna get it on Monday.
Yeah.
You gotta stop. We gotta stop.
All right, ready? It's 6 o'clock. This is the Parks and Recreation Commission, Town of Georgetown, regularly scheduled meeting, Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, 6 P.M. Notice an agenda for regular meeting. Town Hall will be open to the public for this meeting. There is an option to join virtually. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please call 303-569-2555, extension 2, or email townClerk@townofgeorgetown.us, and we will give you details regarding this meeting. Agenda. Call to order. Roll call. Chairman Steve Calabani. Vice Chairman Tom Paxman. Members: Beth Luther,
Here.
Daniel Owen, Brady Scott,
Here.
Anshel Baumberger.
Here.
Rob Connell here. Agenda approval. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the agenda? Or add, is there anything that you would like to add before we approve the agenda?
I'll add the Kubota discussion and make a motion to approve the agenda for March 2nd, 2023 as amended.
I second.
Any opposed? All in favor?
I,
Then any opposed? That's how.
How do you spell that? Kubota?
it's
Kubota. All right, minutes approval. Anybody have any additions or changes to the minutes?
I move we accept the minutes approval of February 2nd, 2023.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, audience business. The members of the audience will have 5 minutes to present any matter of concern to the commission. No official action may be taken at this time.
I got a 2 cents of that.
Sure.
It really not. And I only got a very brief moment really to look at the master plan. But my 2 cents would be, and I don't know that this isn't happening, but just that we work on maintaining the assets we already have in parks before we expand. I think would be a good policy. So that's it.
Yeah,
2 cents.
no, absolutely. I think that is the mission, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I think that it, you know, that if you look at it, it's all not expanding, but more or less updating and, you know, and more or less making it safe.
Yeah, we can create new things. That's it.
Okay,
And I have something.
sure, absolutely.
Bob Hamilton, 1113 Main Street. I've noticed on a couple of occasions that the new restrooms behind Strauss Park have been locked. I don't know if there's I don't know what, if there are hours, it might be smart
So
to post the hours on the restroom.
I guess we could do that. So they're locked from 6 at night till 8 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, and same with the ones at the lake. Yeah,
There you go.
and it really helps them restroom down.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
I think that, you want that posted on your,
That's just
Yeah.
suggested, and you guys, you know, maybe get a
You can
permanent
get
sign.
some
yeah, we can get.
little signs
Yeah,
or
I think
something.
the addition of the time loss was awesome. I think that really solves a lot of problems.
If you have to go and it's 7:59. You know, you're waiting for them. Around the corner, just gotta wait.
Yeah, but one row behind,
Yeah, go in the forest.
and it's pretty low, so put it back there.
All right, anybody else? All right. Well, let's see, old new business. Take it away, Bob.
Okay, I guess, I think you have a copy of the latest report, so I'm not gonna bore you with going through all the details on that, and I think she sent like the report with all the pictures in it. My intent for doing that was to send that to the engineer to get a final sign off letter, and he's very happy with that, and he's gonna send us a letter. So we're able to close out the building permit and get an occupancy permit on that. Everything else is done. So that's why that's there. Plus, it's a good record for what's there. The first order of business, I would just like to get direction from this commission to on the future items that we discussed last time. Things like, well, the gutters, we're moving forward on, they're waiting for a park to come in, and then when the weather warms up, they'll put the gutters up, so that's all paid for, that's gonna happen. I guess the thing on the storage area and converting that into a sport for, whatever.
Kitchen.
Do you want to pursue that? What I would propose is if
That was the original.
Tom wants to pursue that, I'll take some steps to kind of try and move that forward, find out what we need to do code wise and all that. And treat that as a separate project, not a phase 3 of the park, that'd be kind of a
Yeah.
side project. And then once we figure out, I'll come back to you with some ideas and run it through DRC and business promotions, and I'll carry the ball around to the different commissions, and then eventually it'll go to the board for funding.
Got it.
And
Okay.
ultimately, so if you want to pursue that, and
Yeah.
I think you do,
Absolutely.
then I'll continue to
Great.
try and move that forward a little bit. I think you were in favor of purchasing tarps to do closures on the front.
I'm gonna rent those out.
Well, you said, yeah, and I think, and we'll come to, I've got some suggestions, I think there's a lot of things we could probably rent out.
Yeah, it's added
In
amenities.
some thoughts, but I'll go ahead and measure that out and get a quote, and then it'll go. I'll bring it up to DRC, I'm on DRC anyway, so I'll just bring it up.
Okay,
Get them to buy off on it, then we'll go and get approval to buy them, but I think they're gonna be probably in the, $1,000 to $1,500 range, including some hardware hanging and stuff. It shouldn't be too expensive.
yep,
So I'll move forward with that. When we do the scope for the next phase in the park, we can get an option for putting a high power outlet for like a food truck.
yep,
So, and then we can decide whether we want to spend that money. It'll probably be, $1,000 or more to do that.
No, that's good. I mean, I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, we ought to probably,
yeah. You can't have enough power
well,
at different locations of the park. You can't. Well, I mean, it.
you sit
never
close to the
fails.
gavel too. You know?
Yeah,
Give
it never fails.
No, you're right.
You end up, like
And
with
that would be
those, with the extension cord 150 yards at the ice rink.
Versus a mild generator, you know?
Yes, so I love that. idea. Yeah,
And then let me talk a little bit more about this. Right now, the heaters the circuit breakers for the heaters are turned off. The circuit breakers for the lights they're on, so you could turn the lights on. We may want to consider the lights in all of the bays of the shelter are all, each bay has its own switch. And you can turn them on, each bay you can turn on or off independently and dim it independently. The lights are all LED, so they don't, they're not gonna cost much to run no matter what. But when we get to do we want to consider, when we get to the next phase of electrical, adding in like a master controller where we can turn them on and off, basically disable it? Or we can just turn the breakers off.
That's totally, I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good safeguard.
Yeah,
So we can look into the feasibility of doing that.
That isn't something that's like electrically coded.
No,
Okay,
no. It's the lights are on, I think, probably 2 circuits. So you're not talking, 20 breakers you have to deal with it. I think that's really straightforward. The heaters. It's a manual thing. I mean, when we allow people to use them, turn on. They're 3 kW per bay. So an hour, that's 3 kilowatt hours. I mean,
that's expensive.
if we turn it on and someone forgets to turn them off.
Right.
You really don't, not like they, flash or anything when they're
Yeah.
on. And, it doesn't get observed. I guess what I'm saying is the town needs to either have a policy or be diligent to make sure that, we kill the power to those.
Can those be put on a timer?
or a master switch.
What I'm saying is, those ones, done like do it for 30 minutes, you know what I mean?
No, not really, not easily because of the amount of power
Yeah.
each bay is 3 kW, so
Right,
it's like 30 amps,
Yeah, got it.
probably like 12 amps.
I think we always used to have a master switch that was locked, that like only you and Jim could get into.
Well, what's nice is we can lock the panel,
Yeah,
we can put a lock on the panel.
yeah,
So I mean, there's some things we could do, but you were talking about renting out. The town may want to think about Christmas market, 2 weekends. The power bill for Christmas market could be not insignificant for that, that heating.
yeah,
And this is something we've not had in the past, so, you want to booth with or without heat?
yeah,
It's an extra
Absolutely.
$50.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about down the road. Before this time next year. So that just might be something to think about. I'll bring this up to the board of selectmen as well.
What if we added that on the master switch as well?
the heaters and the lights, right?
The DHM design had a kind of a master controller for that kind of stuff, right? It was 10 grand. Just to buy the controller.
Well, is that like, was it 5 grand and they had like a 100% markup?
No, it was, for us to go out and buy it, I checked with who the supplier was, and it was in the 10 to 12 grand range, so. To go.
To have a master switch.
This is gonna be manual, for the amount of time the amount of however often it's used.
Sure.
It seemed like a lot of money to put in, we were trying to keep the budget
Yeah,
down, so.
I'll run over and turn it off.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure we can get, Kevin would be happy to take that, I think we
Yeah.
can take his thing to make sure the power is off.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's just something to be aware of. And, I'm happy to, I check to make sure stuff is off, and nobody's been messing around with it. What caused me to think about it is, we got our first electric bill, and it included like almost $400 for the hookup. And it was the initial reaction, how come this electric bill is so much higher than all the others? Well, because it included $400 for the
Right.
hookup, which is one-time charge. But we didn't realize that at first, so the thought was, oh my God, I think the heat maybe left them on for a week. That type of thing. Sure. This goes back to my first house I owned, and this is the site. I said, I'm gonna be fine for electric heat. Yeah, I put electric heat in, ran it for a month, they had a $900 bill. Tore all the electric heat out and put hot water in.
yeah,
And that was probably close to 50 years ago.
yeah.
So it,
You guys, I'm super worried about not having a master switch.
well, it's not, I mean, we effectively have it, it's inside the box.
Okay.
And so it's a matter of, and it's easy, you can tell. Because
Somebody's gotta remember.
Tell which breaker you
Like-
turn them off, and then.
It's
Yeah.
locked up, so only Kevin can get to it.
Well, it's not locked, but it's kind of an open thing.
Okay,
There's a secret thing, Kevin knows, I know, but it's just a secret, we have a kitty if he told you so.
But we don't.
Sort of locked, but not really.
yeah, okay,
And if you want to put a few USB receptacles in, we could do that. I don't know if you want people charging their iPhones and stuff down there, but the thing with that is it's probably good for
yeah,
a year or two, and then, you know, they're gonna, because people sticking stuff in and out.
Yeah.
It's like any receptacle, it's gonna wear out and break, but that's a thought. You could do something like that, or people could just put their, I mean, the receptacles are they're live.
yeah,
And I mean, I don't see a reason not to leave them live. I mean,
Yeah.
we can turn them off breaker wise.
you worried about that? Okay,
Nobody seems to be messing with anything down there.
That's good.
Which is good. I think it's pretty good. So I kind of know where you stand on this, and I'll start, moving these items forward, and they're kind of separate from phase 3. I know on phase 3 is kind of further down the list here. Do you want to wait till we get there, or you want to go now? List on your agenda.
We can wait.
That's fine. I'm good with that. We don't know what's going on all the way.
Oh, no, on the agenda.
it is,
Yeah, it's on the agenda after the national.
Do that now?
All right, then we can do it now.
Who doesn't have to stay through the whole meeting?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the meeting.
That way we can let you go though.
yeah, just keep going and do it real quick.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess the question is, what do you want to do for phase 3? I mean, we could stick with the DHM design. And what I'm anticipating is once we get the scope of phase 3 settled, I will see what I can put together for a budget, which it's going to be hard to do because it's not like, building a structure where we can get prices for things. It's kind of a specialty thing. My intent would be to hire the right kind of contractor, landscape contractor, somebody who does this kind of stuff. I don't know who that would be.
Neil Lunsford.
Nobody up here. Who?
Neil Lunsford.
I'll talk to them. Do they do that much of heavy?
I think they did the roundabout, didn't they?
They did a lot of stuff in town. They're expensive.
Well, this is not gonna be cheap. I mean, do they lay flagstone and
Yeah.
building concrete and all that? Okay, well, I know them, so I'll go talk to them. We just need to figure out what the scope is, what's here. We'll have to make a few modifications to the plan because we built a different shelter. And it's in a slightly different location than the plan, but that is what it is. I know from feedback from other people in groups in town that there's some concern about. The two biggest concern was getting rid of the tree that's there. That's still left in the park, because it has some. I don't know, not historical, but I guess sentimental.
Not the new one we just put in, right?
This is the.
The cottonwood on the other ends,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was planted by somebody in memorial or somebody there.
Jet Baylor,
Yeah, so there is some. There's
Sentimental value.
Sentiments about that should be retained, and it could be,
yeah,
I think it would work. The other was. The removal and destruction of the bench on the monument on the corner.
Right.
Whether that was something that you really wanted to do. The stone, those square stone cubes on near the two entrances. you know, they're falling apart, they need to go anyway, and, you know, that's not a big deal, they would be.
We can retain the plaques on.
That's what we talked about,
Right,
was
just mounting the
retaining the
plaques.
plaques and mounting them in the park
Right.
somewhere and getting those big rocks out of there.
Right on.
That's what we talked about a year or so ago.
So you're talking about the corner bench.
Correct. Well, that, you know, that monument that has the plaque on it, used to have like a big old, you know, rock on.
No, we're talking a different,
Are you talking about the
I'm
corner?
talking on the corner of Rose and
Six,
Fifth.
Oh, I thought that was staying there.
Well, the corner of Rose and Sixth.
yeah.
I thought that out,
Plans call for that, the big thing right in front of the tree.
yeah, because we wanted to leave the seating there so people could sit and watch the parade and stuff. And so I know that's kind of a bench. And then because we had asked about, hey, how do we do stone benches going down Rose and going down Sixth to match with it? But I don't remember where we ended up, but I didn't think
Where it ended up, you get the walls.
it is.
And that's the question I had. You know, there are definitely some people in town that's not, feel that that's not a good idea
What's that?
to demolish that.
Yeah, well, I wanted to
It's in
stay.
good shape. I don't-
Yeah,
and I think it's a good
yeah,
market.
Do you want to keep it?
The pyramidal thing down by the shelter, that's. I think that would be smart to get rid of that.
yeah,
I think it's, you know, it's now it's a lot closer to the shelter, so it's, you know, it's, you know, starting to fall apart. There are some plaques, but the plaques we could relocate. So
Yeah,
we could.
Yeah.
Like that. That was kind of, the other thing was that people had, I've heard about is, question about the fence, the little wrought iron fence that runs around. The new design is based on having things more open to the park, kind of like the library
Yeah.
park across the way.
yeah,
So that was a matter of, you wanted to
well, then I
keep
thought
the
that,
fence,
I thought what we were gonna do that fence was to,
move it up to Fifth Street.
Yeah.
yes,
correct.
that's what we talked about.
Because then it can still be utilized, it's part of
Yeah.
the park. And it kind of, it gives, it's a win-win for
It
everybody.
makes it really nice and it includes that parking lot behind Strauss Park
Right,
in the park,
right.
right down there.
Yeah.
It was okay to move that from there to there.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you're okay with keeping the tree
Yep,
and keeping the front corner bench, or, you know, that monument in the corner.
yeah,
And then basically build the park out, you know, in accordance with the plan here.
There was some questions on the org part and the bucket.
Well, I think there still is as to where to put it.
Right.
I thought they're not staying in the corner.
Well,
Staying in the corner.
it shows,
Well,
It shows the tracks right there.
yeah, I think it's probably too close to the tree, I mean, but that.
We can relocate.
We can figure that out to where to put it.
Okay,
And my thoughts on the sidewalk, right now, the sidewalk that runs between the park and the parking lot, back to the restroom, is somehow it's lower, and down by the restroom, you wind up going up a couple of steps. Where we are now, I don't think that's gonna be necessary. We can move that sidewalk to the back of I would put a planter right behind the L on the parking
Yeah.
lot side, maybe a couple feet deep, you put some bush rugs in there.
yeah,
The head from there, I mean, if you try and walk down right next to the building, I hit my head. Because it's just about 6 feet or.
Yeah.
Under where the E comes in the. But with the planter, you'd be out past it and run the sidewalk right straight from the corner, right down to the restroom. And I think it
Yeah.
give us a little more space in the parking area, which I think will be much appreciated. So we gained some space there.
Sure.
And personal observation is, the town may want to consider, when we get to paving of that, to pave the thing with asphalt. Instead of the ground up. Base.
Yeah, no.
where are you talking
And
about?
then it's done, and you don't have to mess with it until somebody digs it up.
Well, you may have to seal it every year or something like that. Big parking lots.
Oh, yeah. Now let's get her done.
Here too, as with concrete, I have.
Well, yeah, I know,
Yeah.
on you know, I understand where you're coming from, the sites have dirt roads and all that stuff.
Yes,
And it really is, you know, it's potholes is what it is. And
Yes.
we brought some road base in, thanks to Kevin and his green machine. And so we filled in some of the holes in the parking lot, so it's a little better, but it still gets money,
Yeah,
yeah, it does.
so it needs to get paid.
it makes sense. It probably would also help drainage.
Yeah,
Yes.
you need to do something, and I've got the apartment building hired an engineer, and they did a quick plan for how to keep the water from going into those
Especially
apartments. So we're gonna incorporate, basically, it's the extended gutter. We'll
Good.
incorporate that into the concrete work that gets done there, to get that directed over. Hopefully that'll take care of it, and if it's hard paid, that'll help also.
Right.
Awesome.
So I will start doing something with this. We're all in agreement to extend the flagstone in the booths and all that, so that'll be, you know, it'll double the amount of flagstone we put in, but that's fine. I plan on doing that, so. I think it,
Beth, didn't you say money was no object? I think you said that.
I was just thinking about tinted concrete. That's the same color as Flagstone.
You do, bent concrete.
Yeah.
Color, and have colored like that.
And have that in the booths. I just seen so many people face plant on that Flagstone and it scares the
Well,
crowd.
it's bent concrete.
Yes,
Softer?
No.
yeah,
face plants,
there's
like,
real opposition.
loss.
And you put flagstone
Yeah.
for that type of stuff.
Do you think we could do that?
With sidewalks and everything, so.
Do you think we could do that in the booths?
Hmm?
Do you think we could do that in the booths?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is it cheaper than Flagstone?
Oh, you mean the concrete?
Yeah.
was? I think you're better off tying in, you know, keeping whatever the paving material is the same, because it'll tend to unify the park.
Yeah,
The DHA design had concrete in the booths because they were built off it, but. You know, we changed the foundation design and. And that was the agreed upon plan with the booths. We were actually gonna try and get the flagstone in before Christmas market, but you know, it didn't happen.
so we don't have a choice. We can't do concrete in the booths.
I think it's, I don't know.
I mean, we could certainly look at that again and make some decisions. But it
I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't wanna,
I think it's more expensive to have a flagstone.
I do too.
definitely would be, I would expect it to be more expensive, for sure.
I'm thinking about all the stuff and crud that could drop in between those stones in those booths and trying to clean it up.
You take, I think use the library park as kind of the guideline for how the flagstone works.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good service.
As long as it's all nice and tight.
Yes.
I mean, if you get it laid by, you know, somebody that knows what they're doing, it's what they do. And you prepare underneath it, that's the key, is you can't just throw this stuff down on the ground and fill it with sand. It requires a good, like, 12-inch base underneath it of non-organic material. We're already on our way there in the park. We brought in a ton of road base, which is non-organic, really packs well. Once you vibrate that stuff down, it's like concrete. So I mean, that's the plan, and then you set it in sand, and then you backfill it with special kind of sand type backfill that actually kind of locks it all together. So,
I'm thinking about City Park when we just spent that 40 grand on that flagstone walkway around Tell Street.
On what?
That 40 grand.
They flew through that when they put that in there.
We just spent all that money on that flagstone walkway on City Park
They,
on Tell Street, and now it's like,
it's because they didn't use big pieces.
yeah.
They used a lot of little pieces when they did that.
yeah, the feedback I've had from a couple of people is that we should be looking at 3 to 4 inch thick. Which, you know, possible.
It gets cheaper. The thicker it gets cheaper.
We have a ton of.
No, it
ton of
doesn't.
stuff.
Yeah,
We pulled out and it's been stockpiled up at the Centennial Mill. And I said, well, can we use that to get started? And, you know, it's probably not, because it's generally speaking, it's inch, maybe inch and a half, you know. If you set it in concrete, maybe that would work, but then you have drainage problems.
Right.
That's something I'll take I'm gonna get some references and we'll kind of explore that technically as to what.
Really want to do it the right way,
You
but
want to get someone that's what they do.
Right.
Know the right way to do it. Not it's gotta be out of Denver or something like that.
well, we'll not make a decision on that just yet.
I mean, if you guys are good, go for it.
Well, it'll be a while until you get to that. So-
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the question I would have is, the DHM plan has pretty limited amount of grass. You know, grass is a whole lot cheaper than concrete.
Yeah.
Or flagstone, but it's also. Something that you're gonna have to maintain, take care of. Stone's a lot easier to take care of than grass, especially up here. I like the fire pit, the only comment I've heard is we need to have a compass in it. And I think the consensus now is we're looking at a gas fire pit, not a wood burning.
Right.
And I think that makes sense, so that's what we pursue would be. Probably put a gas fire pit in. That's about all I had. I mean, I had some ideas. We have 3 of the gas lanterns that we salvaged. They're up at the Centennial Mill. A thought would be where you have the entrance. And I was kind of looking at it, you have the entrance to the park, and we have the hoop thing. You could go put 2 gas lights there, build like a rock base, and then one of those pole the gas because it'll fit on a standard 3-inch pole. So you could run gas to it and have them be gas lights. Or you could electrify them with LEDs or something. Get that, which, we could look into how to do that, but it'd be a whole lot easier to turn on and off and, maintain from a maintenance standpoint. But salvage those 3 gas lights, put one on each side where that hoop was, and then one on the corner down where the booths start.
Yep.
And that corner where the trash can is, right on the corner of the K&A building. My intent there was to probably build a rock planter, so you kind of, instead of, walking on the side of the building and then out that way, kind of got a curved entrance, just the corner of the, where the big post is on the track, back to the K&A building, like a quarter circle. Raise that up a little bit so you have kind of a boundary, and then you can put some shrubs and stuff in there. The gas line is still active to there, so I'm thinking that probably would be one to put the gas meter
Right.
for the pipe, and then we can hide it behind shrubs and stuff. That's where it was before. Or we could put a new meter in from the back, in the parking lot area, just be happy.
Would it be easier to have 1 meter monitoring all the gas that's
Oh,
consumed?
yeah, it would be 1 meter for if we put gas lights in, we do the 3 lights. And, everything would come off the same gas meter, so you'd have 1 bill for them.
Got it. Oh, okay, good.
I mean, right now, over by the restroom, behind the restroom, over the back of the K&A building, they've got 2 gas meters there, one for each of the addresses there. We could probably add a 3rd one. That would be,
Right.
which we have to, right, before we put all the hardscape in, we run it out to them. Where he,
Good. No, that's good.
that's what we got.
All right. Said, you have anything?
So, I mean, that's kind of thoughts, and what I'm hearing is the things that, front corner bench, the tree, and then the rest of the stuff, will kind of start playing with the details there. And, keep in line with the DHM.
I like all the handouts,
Yeah,
good pictures.
yeah,
My first file was like almost 500 megabytes.
sure.
And I said, okay, the next one was how to do that. I finally got off of Word and went over to the Apple version of Word. And, oh, then it was easy. So that worked out well. I was able to figure out how to do that and bring all that in.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
But that-
All right, the next on the list is Kevin Gregory, KG.
So, I've just been keeping busy with the snow, obviously. And they had a big hockey event down there at the lake. I guess that turned out pretty good. It's kind of difficult to spray water on the lake and then it'd be freezing up.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to get that done also. And then, there was a big giant ponderosa tree on the lake trail that fell. I don't know if anybody knows.
What?
Wow.
Where?
Didn't notice.
On the backside of the lake.
Oh, up against a mountain?
Yep, well, it fell right on the trail.
Wow.
So we moved out on Monday, that's gone.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
And then, but I've noticed, I guess we need to go walk that lake trail and mark the dead trees, because there's several. back there.
Yeah.
Might become a nuisance if people are falling.
Okay,
So I'm gonna probably take a walk with Rick down there.
okay,
And see what we want to do about that.
okay.
And then, so I did manage to get that little tractor up on top of that ring. It was kind of sketchy though.
You did good. I knew it. I was like, get that green tractor on the ice rink. And you did, and you just killed it. It was awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
And then, that's basically it, it's mostly the snow I've been dealing with. And,
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna be having 2 park guys help me this summer,
Yes.
so when do we wanna bring them guys on? Probably like, May?
Yeah, I was
May.
thinking like May 15th to September 15th or something like that.
So if anybody knows anybody that's looking for something like that,
Oh, I thought you had 2 people.
no, we have one, but we're gonna need another one,
Yeah,
so, and it's gonna be part-time,
Posted in Loveland.
yeah, that's a good idea.
part-timer.
Yeah, they close in May. I mean,
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
well, that's usually where the train and any of our summer employees came from.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks so
Great
much.
job, brother.
Thank you.
Next is the Greenway Park Bike Track.
So I did have proposals on my computer that,
By the way, you want to introduce yourself, please?
so I'm Greg Scott.
I saw.
I had, we talked about this summer and it was laid out and we didn't have enough of a quorum to do our field trip to the park.
Yep.
I don't want to do a
And I-
building in the cold.
Yeah, well, I removed all the flagging because it was sort of obnoxious. I didn't want to leave it in. So I do not have a GPS outline on hand to provide for the proposal. I did bring some information on removable or temporary pump track solutions in case we wanted to be able to move it around town or not.
Nice.
That's a good.
Immediately go into something that was permanent
Sure.
as an option. Other than that, without the GPS mapping stuff, I don't have a ton of new information.
Okay.
I just know that we were sort of bringing that conversation back to the table.
Yes.
Okay,
I like that
But that's,
idea.
yeah, it's good that you're still working on
I
it.
mean, some of this,
Because you could move it if people like destroy it or if they put trash near it.
so, I mean, there's.
Is that one map or is there a bunch of copies?
That's like their whole, yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know, I want to look at that when you're done.
So that's sort of where I'm at
Gotcha.
with a refresh on what we talked about previously.
Yeah,
I really like that.
I do too.
Then,
I want to try it.
moving right along, the Parks Master Plan Update, 22nd Bridge paths and parking. You have anything?
No.
I do.
What are you doing?
Rick's been talking about this, you know, people are fishing down there on 22nd Street. And you drive your car down the road and you're just walking in the middle of the road like it's a giant bike path. And he wants to try and get. I don't think separated, but like an adjacent bike path going over the lake. At the little waistline there, along 22nd Street, so that people stay on the sidewalk. We hope, instead of just walking down the middle of the road. And I think I found a grant that'll pay for that. So I'm gonna look at it and just see if we can make an application for it and add something like that down there. Well, I think they were still working on 22nd Street Bridge. I don't know.
And they also wanted to tie it into the bridge.
Yes, right. So it'd be a separate little,
They do have the footings there for that, right? They did start to,
Well, they got the building in, but they
Okay.
had to do the sidewalk.
Gotcha.
right. So we want to try and get that whole separate walkway there, with this grant if we can.
Got it. All right. Well, next we got the Strauss Park refresh. We've already talked about that.
Yeah, I do have one more thought before I.
There you go. It's timely.
It came up. When we start to move forward with the actual implementation of phase 3. And we're talking about demolition around the park, taking the fence down, taking, some of the rock stuff down. We're talking about putting in flagstone. We've got undergrounds for the gas piping, for some of the aerial, the street lighting type stuff. What I'm saying is, it's going to disrupt the park. Probably every bit as much as it disrupted last year, and probably really more. Because, we were kind of up against the building in the back corner, and you still have a little area right outside of the security fence where you could, sit at tables and do stuff. Once we get started there, I think it's gonna be disruptive, so.
Like a matter of weeks and months.
We need to think hard and long about how we go about that, and do we want to push it off to the fall, or do we want to bite the bullet? I mean, we need to look at the events that they're going to want to be in the park area and figure out how we want to approach this. It's going to be interesting.
You also don't want to miss the warm weather.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
If you start in the fall, you're starting right when it starts to get cold. And
Yeah, we were at the same thing we did, trying to get the.
And this is all around. This is all, you're.
So it really ideally needs to start probably in May and continue through. The other thing is, we were successful in getting something up and available for Christmas market because we did it all locally. And we had, I give Ryder a lot of credit and Kevin some credit for that as well.
Yeah.
We had people here that could jump in and kind of be the glue and keep it moving forward, like in between when contractors kind of do stuff. I don't see that as much of a possibility for this one. If we go with a contractor, we're going to kind of be at the mercy of the contractor to, do the undergrounds, the electrical and plumbing, do the concrete work, and then do the, laying the stone and all that kind of stuff. So we can, like with all, you give a contractor a big job to do with all of the parts. And you're really subject to him doing the best he can and maintaining some kind of a schedule. So it'll be interesting. I think the message is once we start, it's likely that, we won't get the park back until they're done.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe we can come up with some ideas with, maybe we pull a couple of contractors together. So I don't know, we need to, once you get the scope, then we can start getting prices and quotes and ideas of what we're going to do. But I mean, the towns run into that down on Rose Street with the gutters and trying to put in,
Yep.
you'll think the weather didn't cooperate. Well, yeah, it's the mountains, the weather's not going to cooperate.
That's right.
You're gonna count. So that's just kind of something to be aware of and to think of, how do we work it? I know they want to use it for Slacker and,
Yeah, it was closed off partially last year and we were fine.
it may be closed off a lot more. That's-
Yeah,
It really depends on when things fall and what stage the construction is.
yeah. We had a contingency plan to actually not be in it at all last year, so we do have a workaround if we can't use it, so.
I mean, yeah, we just need to be aware of that,
Yeah.
and,
That's good.
I'll bring the same message to the, building promotion or the business
Yeah.
promotion group, so
Okay.
they're aware as well. And I've already talked to Jen Jordan, so she kind of knows, yeah, we need to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
It's just something to be aware of.
all right, let's move along and park survey.
Okay, I'm passing some stuff around. You got two different items down there. There's one for each of y'all, and I've got two for the audience too.
These look like,
There's two for the audience too.
Napkins in the army.
Yeah, there's another one. So, we were talking about doing the park surveys. And, Rick and I started working on it. And I drafted an RFP, a request for proposal, to get a company to come and do the surveys for us. And I actually cornered our county surveyor, who is a resident of Georgetown, and made him edit my RFP. So I just want to let you know, we want to try and release this maybe next week, at the end of next week. And if there's extras, okay, thanks. And try and select a surveyor by the end of March. So I won't give you all the date breakdowns, but insofar, we found these two surveys. One is for Meadows Park, and you can kind of see the outlines. And what I asked for in the RFP was, can you flag it on the exact boundary so we know where it is?
So I do have a bunch of historic surveys of Greenway.
Yes, that's this one.
Well, I have other versions of that.
Okay, awesome.
That might predate this.
Yeah,
Or post-date it. I would have to go back and look.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that had to go to GoCo.
yeah, and this is only part of Greenway.
Yeah.
And you know what I also noticed about Greenway Park is that our boundary goes on the other side of the creek. And there's a whole walking path over there on the other side. And that looks like it's, town property as well. So the things that I asked for the contractor in the scope of service was review historical documents to establish each park's development and existence, and any existence of easements or right-of-ways within each park boundary. You'll notice on the Meadows map here that down there by where the tennis court is, you see the driveway coming up for the parking lot where you park, but then there's also sketched out a driveway going to that house. And I just want to make sure that is not a formal easement, like that we have to maintain this guy's driveway forever. That's what I don't want to do. And then let's see, I wanted to receive digital results of the formal survey as well as stamped prints. And then I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I don't know if it's better to flag the whole boundary or just put the pins in and let the fence contractor figure it out. I kind of wanted to see it with just that really thin pink flagging, but I realize that's an eyesore too. So I don't know. If you guys can think about that.
I'd quarter pin it.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to, I don't want the fence contractor to come in and go, oh, I didn't see that one. So I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know where we were in the process. And I'm working with the county surveyor. He's kind of advising me on the whole thing and in our language in the RFP. And I'll keep you posted, but you guys can keep these two flats for now. You want to just check them out. And I mean, as you can see, Meadows Park is a lot bigger. It goes over into Greenway Park. Yeah, it goes over into Greenway Park.
Right?
And then it goes up by Rick and Diane's house on Sunburst.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting, but anyway, that's the update on park survey.
Okay, moving right along, we're gonna have the 2023 budget review informational. I have no information.
I don't either. I don't have the budget. Yeah,
Moving right along, request for Christmas decorations. I think inside your packet, you've got a quote from the Wintergreen Corporation.
mhm.
They look fantastic.
And then the quote from Triangle Electric for the
Yeah.
install,
Right.
so.
I thought that was for the, it was for pole lights, rewiring.
Approximate cost.
He's
for
gonna, he's
install.
actually gonna teach,
Yeah,
these guys how to do it.
that's awesome.
So,
So Rick asked us to make a motion today to approve these expenditures so that they can take advantage of the pricing right now.
yeah,
And so I'll make a motion to approve the Wintergreen Corporation and the Triangle Electric bids not to exceed $10,000.
good move. Do I hear a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Got that man a check.
Yeah.
All right, Foster's Place Improvements.
Do you know what it is?
I don't.
Do you know what it is, Kevin?
Just maintenance that needs to be done with it.
Painting?
Yeah.
Isn't there a painting thing?
It's probably, I can craft another RFP to have a company come in and sand,
Power wash it,
power wash it,
paint it.
restain it. Do we need to sand anything down or can we just power wash it and, paint
Maybe
it.
some sanding going on, but
Sure.
I think power wash will knock all the loose stuff off.
okay. And then, I know the toddler sand kind of takes over a section of the park. I was thinking maybe we could, I mean, are we out of sand over there? Do we need to get some more sand?
I'll have to take a look at this.
It's pretty empty. I don't think.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been. Never,
Okay,
and that was 2 years,
Wow,
Okay.
yep,
that's 2003.
that's right.
wow.
And the sand is kind of a pain in the butt because it, they're
Yes,
having fun, but
yes.
hey, you just take a hose or a blower and blow it off a couple times a year. And that's just the nature of these.
Okay. Kevin or Kim, is there other things that y'all saw that I should include in the RFP, like any of the metal brackets or?
There's some trim that needs to be replaced on.
Trim.
Yeah.
I just want to put all this in a scope of work and I just don't know what all is needed. So if you think
There's
that,
some like, it is a wood structure, so there is some rotting going on some of the,
oh, really?
like that little car out there.
Yeah, it's got some broken places.
Yeah.
Okay,
You may want to put in the RFP to have the respective contractor come and do an assessment of those
Yeah,
things that need to be patched up and repaired.
okay, got it.
it was originally like Southern Drive, Kiln Drive on.
Okay,
And so it's held up pretty well, but it was all supposed to be stained every year.
okay,
And it was for the first 10 years.
We do have some rough sawn pine boards. And we'll probably have a little bit of shiplap. Got a bunch of 16-foot 2x4s left over. And I think there's 1 or 2 6x6 posts left over in their locker room farm. I
okay,
mean, that's, be aware that they're out, and we have salvage stuff from the old park, it's sitting up at the building, including a bunch of black stuff.
Still good stuff? Still like good stuff?
like leftover,
I think it's painted, it's got green, it's either green or white or both, or, but it's been all detailed and, it's, it's got some of it's warped, and, it's 50-year-old lumber. So it's, if there are projects around town, I know the old Missouri
It needs some help.
needs some help, but we could look at that. I'd be happy to get with you sometime when the weather's better. You can take a look at that, because the Pine, we have a pretty good staff of the,
Yeah, probably good for all Missouri.
yeah, it,
Yeah.
on that, isn't it? Yeah, so we can look at replacing some of that.
What about swings and slides? Are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
Right.
Well, we're gonna add another swing. We're gonna talk about.
Well, we talked about that in the master plan.
Yeah, in the master plan, initially in 2003, the plan was approved for one swing. So that would take probably another formal process, right? But really, the ultimate would be like 3 swings, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the most popular thing.
Yes,
I think the puppet theater could be reimagined, or how about we provide ammo cans and puppet materials? And they'll get left out in the rain and they just get replaced. And then, like sturdy tin buckets and shovels for the sand, because there's no toys there. And I donated for the longest time, and then just, my kids are 20.
yeah.
16.
What about that, that rubber bridge thing? Is that gone?
They're still there.
It's still
It,
there?
it rips once in a while. I just kind of restretch it and put it back.
Okay,
But there is some maintenance to that.
So we could order that from Leathers. I think that's like a conveyor belt, like a magic.
Yeah.
It is a conveyor belt, yeah.
That's what you
Okay.
know what it is.
is there any other
That for
pieces
old
like,
magic carpets go to die
yeah,
in playgrounds.
any other pieces on there that,
Eventually that surface is.
The surface is
yes.
And that-
beat up pretty bad.
I got a bid on that, that was
That came,
frightening,
that came from a DOLA grant.
Yeah.
This-
The
Yeah.
ground up rubber,
Yeah.
she gives.
I think it's the trigger pushing up on it.
yeah,
And now that big cottonwood in the middle is gone.
Yeah,
That should alleviate that problem, but it was pushing up.
yeah, it's designed so that like the water will drain through.
mhm,
Right.
But yeah, somebody did a really good job. I think it was Jim Margolis. He found the rubber shreds and the right epoxy, and he was doing a great job of patching it, but I can't tell you where he got the materials.
okay,
Jim, I think he's still in town somewhere.
okay.
He's around here somewhere.
No, this is good, I can get this RFP started, so, and I'll just run it by you guys and let you look at it and say, oh, Beth, you forgot this or something, and let me know. So, okay,
Thanks, Bob.
yeah.
Well,
Kubota, just Kubota really quick.
That's right, that's right.
Kubota has got a grant out for not heavy equipment, but like parks equipment, like bush hogs and tractors and mini excavators. And if you, do you have an email? Because I'll send you the link so you can look at it.
I just want you to know that we're
No.
getting a gently used excavator. Did you know that?
We're getting what?
We're getting a gently used excavator for the town.
Oh, that's awesome. I was hoping that Kubota made some bonies.
Simple, new size.
I don't know.
I heard you can buy Zambonis
Full size.
at auctions.
Okay. I'll look.
Big example.
I got it on my list. So anyway, I just want to tell you about this. In case there's something you can't live without to fix our parks. Or cut trails, or maybe we. Write the grant together and we both use it. The county and the town.
No, we could use, so Kubota, all of the attachments, I think they took the Kubotas and the John Deere and stuff.
Yeah,
Probably like a back scraper blade. A blade to fit on the back of the tractor.
Yeah.
If you go down a trail and you can be.
drag it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grade it out real nice.
I want to get a big one that can drive.
we used to drag the chain link fence with a railroad tie on it. No, okay, well, think about it. And you and Brady. Gotta talk,
Yeah, well, Butch does.
yeah,
Just so you're aware, the town owned that brown tent that we had down the park for most of last summer or part of last summer. That, the town owns that. It's currently in Mark Barn. It's set, we were using it try and warm up so we could, paint some of the stuff, but I'm gonna be taking it down in probably in a couple of weeks. And, probably store it in the building down there.
Okay.
But that, I mean, keep that in mind, it's 10 by 20 and
Wow,
it's, the sides have windows and the two, keep closing all four sides, you can roll them up or take them off and all that, it's
that's cool for events.
pretty, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good and it's, it takes a little bit of time to set up and take down, but, a couple of people could do it probably in, an hour and a half. Something like
That's
that.
something else we can rent out for revenue for parks.
But keep that in mind. I mean,
Yeah, that's good.
So, I heard someone talk about if we go with the hockey thing,
Yes,
put a big tent up like they had over across the street here, build a hockey rink and rent it out for the winter down on the lake.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
There's big money in renting,
Oh, you ain't kidding.
ice time hockey games. Like my cousin that lives up in the New England area, and his son is at it, and they're all over the place. It costs a fortune.
Yeah, it does.
Rink time.
Oh, ice time,
Yeah.
Well,
usually when you get it, it's at 5 AM,
Oh, yeah, that's when you can afford it.
right?
Well, Jennifer had what, 8 teams in the tournament, but she had requests for like 32 teams.
Oh,
Yeah, so we could have had a lot.
That would
Wow.
be, you would be able to do much, you're better on conditioning.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't kidding. That would be awesome. So I'll move to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to, any more questions? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned.
All right, we did it in 1 hour.